In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to get lost in the noise. We're constantly pulled in different directions by technology, social media, endless to-do lists, and the expectations of others. And yet, amidst all this chaos, there is one simple truth. If you want to succeed and grow, you must learn to focus on what really matters. The problem is, we often spend too much of our energy on things that don't contribute to our true goals. So how do you cut through the noise and give your attention to the things that will help you achieve long-term success? In this audiobook, we're going to explore practical ways to regain control over your time and energy. You'll discover how to identify the distractions that are holding you back and how to cut them out for good. More importantly, we'll dive into the actionable strategies that will help you focus on what's truly important: your growth, your goals, and the things that align with your deepest values. You've probably heard the advice to stay focused, but what does that really mean in a world where we're constantly bombarded by new messages, new notifications, and new distractions? How do you separate the important from the irrelevant and keep your eyes on what will drive you toward success? In the coming minutes, you'll learn exactly how to do that. This isn't just about getting better at time management or organizing your day. It's about reclaiming your energy and using it in ways that push you forward instead of keeping you stuck. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to not just survive in this noisy world, but to thrive in it. You'll be equipped to identify what's really worth your attention and how to create space for the things that matter most. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, distracted, or unsure of where to put your focus, this video is for you. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the key to unlocking your true potential and achieving the success you deserve. Chapter 1. Identify your top priorities and remove unnecessary daily tasks. Every day starts with a choice. Whether we recognize it or not, we decide where our attention goes, what deserves our energy, and which direction we'll take. But for many people, that choice isn't deliberate. It's unconscious. They wake up and dive into a stream of distractions, obligations, and noise without taking a moment to pause and ask a simple question: what truly matters? Without clarity, life gets cluttered. Your time gets stolen by things that don't contribute to your growth. Your energy is drained by tasks that feel urgent but aren't important. You stay busy, but you're not moving forward. The first step toward taking control of your life is learning to identify what truly matters and cutting out what doesn't. It sounds simple, but most people never do it. They let the day run them instead of deciding what deserves their full attention. If you want to improve your life, build resilience, and stay disciplined, it begins with getting clear about your priorities and removing what gets in the way. Start by asking yourself what kind of life you want to live. Not someday, not 5 years from now, but today. How do you want your day to feel? How do you want to spend your time? What outcomes actually matter to you? Not what you think should matter or what others expect from you, but what really moves the needle for your growth and peace of mind. Most people have never stopped long enough to ask those questions. They've built routines around demands and habits that don't support the life they want. So they stay in motion, always busy, constantly doing, but rarely becoming who they're capable of being. If you want your life to feel different, your days must be different. If your days are cluttered with tasks that don't matter, you can't expect your life to feel focused or fulfilling. Clarity doesn't come from more thinking, it comes from simplifying. If you're overwhelmed, it's not because you have too much to do. It's because you haven't defined what's essential. When you know your top priorities, everything else becomes easier to deal with or ignore. The mind is sharp when it's not drowning in noise. You don't need more time in the day. You need less wasted time. Time isn't the problem. Priority is. There will always be more things to do than hours to do them. But not all tasks deserve your attention. The moment you stop trying to do everything is the moment you start doing what actually matters. Start by writing down everything you do in a typical day, from the moment you wake up to when you go to bed. Don't judge it or try to change it yet. Just observe. This exercise alone can change the way you see your life. You'll notice how much of your day is spent reacting. You'll see how many things you do out of habit, not intention, and you'll probably realize that some of those tasks don't actually serve your growth, your peace, or your future. Once you've listed everything, start identifying what truly moves you forward. What actions make you feel stronger, more aligned, more fulfilled? What habits bring peace, clarity, or progress? And what tasks just keep you busy without making any real difference? Now take a pen and cross out everything that doesn't serve your growth. Be ruthless. If something doesn't move you closer to who you want to be, it's a distraction. It's noise. The more you let go of the unnecessary, the more room you create for the necessary. Clarity isn't about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it better. And the truth is, most people spend the majority of their day on things that don't matter. They answer emails that lead nowhere. They scroll through content that adds no value. They say yes to obligations that drain their energy. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted, frustrated, or stuck. Freedom comes when you start saying no. No to distractions. No to obligations that don't align with your purpose. No to the pressure of trying to please everyone. Your time is your life. If you don't protect it, someone else will waste it for you. Saying no isn't selfish, it's responsible. It's an act of self-respect. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that matters more. You can't give your best energy to everything. You have to choose where it goes. Your top priorities deserve the best of you, not the leftovers. And if your day is filled with things that don't reflect your values, your life won't either. To stay focused, create a simple rule. Every morning, write down the 3 most important tasks you need to complete that day. Just 3. Not a long to-do list, not 100 micro-tasks, just the 3 that matter most. These are the tasks that, if completed, will move you forward in a meaningful way. They might be challenging. They might require deep focus, but they're worth it. They represent progress, not just motion. Once you know those 3 tasks, schedule time to do them first, before distractions, before noise, before the day pulls you in 100 directions. Guard that time like it's sacred, because it is. Those hours will define your progress more than anything else. At the end of the day, review what you did. Were your top priorities completed? If not, ask why. Be honest with yourself. Was it because of distractions? Because of fear? Because you gave your time to things that didn't deserve it? Reflection is a powerful tool for realignment. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. The goal isn't to control every second of your day. The goal is to align your actions with your values. When your actions reflect what truly matters, you feel more alive, more capable, more peaceful. And that's the foundation of real success. Don't wait for life to become less busy. It won't. The world isn't going to get quieter. It's your responsibility to become more focused, to build habits that support clarity, to make decisions that reflect your highest values. That's how you create a life that matters. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Start by designing your day. Define your priorities. Remove the noise. Live on purpose, not by default. The more you simplify, the stronger you become. Because energy isn't wasted, time isn't scattered, and your mind isn't cluttered. You're present, you're aligned, and you're in control. That's how you build confidence. Not by doing everything, but by doing what matters most. The discipline to focus is the discipline to live deliberately. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. The people who build meaningful lives don't have more time. They just waste less of it. They don't do more. They do less with greater intensity. They don't chase everything. They pursue what matters. And that's the difference between a distracted life and a fulfilled one. You don't need to add more to your plate. You need to clear the plate and choose carefully what goes back on. Every task, every commitment, every habit should earn its place in your day. If it doesn't support your growth, question it. If it doesn't align with your values, remove it. Life isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with the right energy. When your priorities are clear, your path becomes clear. When your mind is quiet, your focus becomes powerful. When you act with intention, your results change. You'll face pressure to go back to being busy. You'll be tempted to take on more than you should. But remember, discipline isn't about doing everything. It's about doing what matters. Especially when distractions surround you. You're not here to react. You're here to build. You're here to grow. You're here to focus on what matters and let go of what doesn't. That starts with one day, one clear decision, one simple question: does this move me forward or not? Ask it every morning. Ask it before every task. Ask it until clarity becomes a habit. Until focus becomes your normal state. Until your life reflects your priorities, not your distractions. Most people are exhausted, not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing too much of the wrong things. Don't confuse motion with meaning. Don't mistake urgency for importance. The noise will always be there, but you don't have to listen. You can rise above it. You can choose differently. You can build a life that feels calm, focused, and deeply satisfying. The choice is yours. It always has been. Start now. Decide what matters. Remove what doesn't. Give your energy to the right things. And build each day on purpose, with clarity, with strength. Because when you focus on what really matters, everything else begins to fall away. And in that space you find peace, progress, and power. Chapter 2. Establish a morning routine that fosters clarity and energy. The way you start your morning will shape the way you experience your entire day. What you do in those first waking hours sets the tone for how you think, how you feel, and how effectively you move through your tasks. If your mornings begin with chaos, noise, and distraction, then that's the rhythm your mind will follow. If you start with intention, calm, and energy, you give yourself a real advantage. A consistent morning routine doesn't just increase productivity, it builds mental clarity, physical momentum, and emotional stability. It's one of the most overlooked disciplines that separates people who live reactively from those who live with purpose. Most people wake up just in time to rush. They grab their phone, check messages, scroll through updates, and immediately let the world tell them what to think about. They hurry through their preparation, barely aware of how their body feels, their thoughts rushing ahead to responsibilities and deadlines. By the time they've left the house or started their work, they've already lost control of their focus. They didn't begin the day, they reacted to it. This is where most internal exhaustion begins. It's not the workload that drains people first. It's the lack of grounding at the start of the day that causes the mind to feel scattered, anxious, and unprepared. If you want to win the day, you must start it from a place of calm, clarity, and direction. Establishing a powerful morning routine begins with one decision: stop waking up by accident. Don't start your day as a victim of circumstance. Take ownership of the first hour. Decide that this time belongs to you, and that how you use it will either strengthen you or weaken you. The morning is a quiet opportunity before the world demands your attention. Use it wisely. Begin by waking up earlier than necessary. Not drastically earlier, but early enough to create space before obligations begin. That space is where clarity grows. When you give yourself time to move with intention, everything else becomes easier to manage. You'll think better, feel more composed, and act from a place of stability. Don't reach for your phone when you open your eyes. Give your mind a chance to meet the day without interference. Those early moments are your reset button. When you flood them with other people's messages, you miss the chance to center yourself. Begin by breathing deeply and sitting up slowly. Feel your body. Notice the silence. Give your thoughts time to settle. This is your opportunity to ground yourself in the present. From there, move into a short and consistent sequence of actions that energize and prepare you. It could be stretching, taking a short walk, journaling your thoughts, or simply sitting in silence. The key is to keep it simple and sustainable. You don't need a complicated routine filled with dozens of tasks. You need a small number of meaningful actions that create consistency and strength. The best routines are repeatable. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on structure, and when that structure is followed daily, the benefits accumulate. You build self-respect by keeping promises to yourself first thing in the morning. That confidence carries into everything else you do. When you start your day with discipline, you remind yourself that you are in control of your choices, not just reacting to your environment. One of the most powerful things you can include in your morning is movement. Physical activity, even for just a few minutes, wakes up your body and sharpens your mind. You don't need a full workout. A brisk walk, bodyweight exercises, or light stretching can be enough. The purpose is not perfection, it's activation. Get the blood flowing. Feel your muscles working. Remind yourself that you are alive, capable, and strong. This sends a clear signal to your nervous system. The day has started, and you're prepared for it. Hydration is another small but essential part of a strong morning routine. After several hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Before coffee, before food, give your body what it truly needs. Water. Drink slowly and intentionally. It's a basic act of care that many overlook. When you treat your body with respect, your mind responds with clarity. Clarity is not just mental, it's physical. A well-hydrated, well-stretched and well-awakened body produces a clear and energized mind. Another important element is intention. Take time each morning to remind yourself of your focus. This doesn't require a long journal entry or meditation session. Just a few moments of stillness where you bring your attention to the kind of person you want to be today. What energy do you want to carry? What actions matter most? Who are you becoming through today's choices? These questions give your mind a target. Without a target, you drift. With one, you act with purpose. Avoid starting your day with consumption. That means no social media, no emails, no news, at least for the first part of the morning. The problem with starting your day by consuming is that it puts you in a passive mindset. You absorb, but you don't create. You react, but you don't lead. Your mind becomes cluttered before it has a chance to find its own rhythm. Give yourself space to think for yourself before you let the world in. It's not about avoidance, it's about protection. Protect your clarity by limiting what you allow into your mind first thing in the morning. One powerful practice is to write down your thoughts as soon as you wake up. This doesn't have to be elegant or structured. Just a simple brain dump. What's on your mind? What do you feel? What do you want to focus on today? Writing clears the mental fog. It gets thoughts out of your head and onto paper where they become easier to organize and understand. This small act can bring a surprising amount of peace and focus. It's not therapy, it's awareness. And awareness is the foundation of self-mastery. Consistency matters more than intensity. Don't aim for the perfect morning routine. Aim for a consistent one. Something you can repeat every day, even on difficult mornings. Especially on difficult mornings. That's when your routine matters most. On the days when motivation is low or stress is high, a well-established routine carries you forward. It becomes your anchor. You don't have to decide what to do, you just follow the pattern you've built. And that structure protects your mind from spiraling into distraction or anxiety. Keep your routine adaptable, but not optional. If you're traveling, waking up earlier, or dealing with unexpected events, adjust the length or intensity, but keep the core elements intact. Even 10 minutes of movement, hydration, silence, and intention can transform your state. The purpose is not to create a rigid checklist, it's to build a foundation of clarity and energy that you can rely on no matter what. Your morning is the most personal part of your day. Use it to connect with yourself before the world tries to pull you away. Over time, your morning routine becomes more than a series of actions. It becomes your ritual of strength. It's the space where you remind yourself of who you are and what you stand for. It's where you reconnect with your values. It's where you decide how you will carry yourself through challenges, distractions, and opportunities. This routine becomes the invisible armor that prepares you to face life with calm, direction, and discipline. Many people underestimate the power of starting small. They try to overhaul their entire life in 1 week and then give up when it becomes unsustainable. Start with one habit, one intentional act each morning. Maybe it's waking up without checking your phone. Maybe it's drinking water before anything else. Maybe it's sitting in silence for 5 minutes. Build from there, stack small wins. Each habit is a signal to your mind. I am in control of how I live. This is where confidence is built. Not through results alone, but through the process of choosing growth every morning. The morning is your reset. It's your daily chance to return to discipline, to return to presence, to return to focus. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Progress is built in the quiet choices, not the loud ones. When you show up for yourself each morning, the rest of the day becomes easier to manage. You've already done the hardest part. You've taken control of your mindset before the world had a chance to influence it. A strong morning routine is a form of self-respect. It's how you prove to yourself that your growth matters, that your peace matters, that your energy matters. It's not about doing what looks good. It's about doing what feels right and produces strength. The more consistently you follow through, the more naturally focus becomes your baseline. You won't have to force discipline. It will become part of who you are. Over time, you'll notice that your decisions improve. Your energy lasts longer. Your mind becomes quieter, and your day feels less like a battle and more like a series of clear, deliberate steps. That's the power of starting strong. That's the reward of a well-built morning. Not just better outcomes, but a better experience of life. You no longer chase balance, you create it. You no longer search for clarity. You wake up with it. You'll face resistance. Some mornings will feel heavier than others. There will be days when you don't want to move or focus or sit in stillness. But those are the days when following through matters most. Not because the habit is easy, but because the outcome is worth it. You'll never regret taking care of yourself first. You'll never regret showing up for your priorities before distractions have a chance to creep in. This is how real change begins. Not with a dramatic overhaul, but with a steady commitment to show up each morning with intention, to start each day from a place of strength instead of stress, to take full responsibility for your energy, your attention, and your mindset. A strong morning doesn't just make your day better, it makes your life better. It builds the habits that shape your identity, and over time it becomes the reason you stay consistent when everything else gets difficult. You deserve to live a life that feels clear, strong, and centered. That begins the moment you open your eyes. Take that moment seriously. Treat your mornings as sacred. Give yourself the structure you need to succeed. Not once, but every day. That's how clarity is created. That's how energy is protected. That's how focus becomes a way of life. Start early. Start simple. But above all, start strong. The rest of your life will thank you. Chapter 3. Cultivate mindfulness practices to silence internal mental noise. Every day you are flooded with thoughts, some helpful, many not. Your mind becomes a constant stream of noise, cluttered with worries, regrets, and imagined futures. This internal chatter pulls your attention in dozens of directions, draining your energy and making it harder to be present. It creates confusion, stress, and emotional fatigue. And most of the time, you don't even realize how loud it's gotten inside your own head. You're not weak for feeling mentally overwhelmed. You're simply living in a world that's constantly demanding your attention. But if you don't take control of your inner world, it will control you. The ability to quiet your mind is not a luxury. It's a necessity. If you want to think clearly, act intentionally, and stay centered in the middle of daily chaos, you must train yourself to silence the noise that builds up inside. That silence doesn't mean emptiness, it means clarity. It means being fully aware of your thoughts without becoming ruled by them. When you learn to quiet your internal environment, you develop the kind of strength that can't be shaken by circumstances. You stop reacting impulsively and start responding from a place of peace. Mindfulness is not just a spiritual concept or a meditation trend. It's a practical discipline that teaches you how to live in the now. It doesn't mean avoiding problems. It means facing them with a mind that's not clouded by unnecessary fear or emotional clutter. You don't need to sit in silence for hours to experience the power of mindfulness. You need to consistently bring your attention back to this moment, without judgment, without escape, without distraction. The internal noise isn't always obvious. Sometimes it sounds like overthinking. Other times it shows up as constant worry or self-criticism. It can disguise itself as urgency, even when nothing needs to be rushed. It can whisper doubts, project imaginary scenarios, or replay past events. This noise thrives when you let your mind run without direction, and the more you feed it with avoidance, overstimulation, or mindless habits, the louder it gets. To cultivate mindfulness, you must first make peace with the present. That means accepting where you are instead of constantly escaping into where you think you should be. Start by observing your thoughts without needing to fix them. Watch them come and go like traffic. Don't chase them and don't fight them. Just notice. This practice builds awareness, and awareness is the beginning of transformation. You can't silence the noise if you're not even aware that it's there. You don't need a perfect environment to practice mindfulness. In fact, you should learn to practice it in the middle of daily life. While walking, eating, or doing something routine, bring your attention fully into what you're doing. Feel the sensations, notice the breath, observe the details. Even washing your hands can become a practice in presence if you slow down and pay attention. Mindfulness doesn't require more time. It requires more attention. Many people think they don't have time to be mindful, but the truth is, they waste more time being distracted than they would ever spend learning to focus. Distraction may feel productive because it keeps the mind moving, but it rarely leads to clarity. Clarity comes when you give yourself permission to stop, breathe, and reconnect with the present moment. When you stop rushing mentally, life stops feeling like a race you can't win. You'll notice the difference once you begin. You'll feel lighter, calmer, and more centered. The same problems will exist, but they won't dominate your mind. You'll be able to separate what's real from what's imagined. You'll be less reactive and more composed. You'll start making decisions from a place of understanding rather than panic. This shift doesn't happen all at once. It's built one moment of mindfulness at a time. Start by taking short pauses throughout your day. Not to scroll or check notifications, but to simply return to your breath. Close your eyes if you can. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Feel the air move in and out of your body. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw unclench. Let your thoughts pass by without grabbing hold of them. Even 1 minute like this can reset your mental state. The more often you return to your breath, the more control you gain over your focus. You don't need to empty your mind. That's a misconception. Your mind will always produce thoughts. The goal isn't to stop thinking, it's to stop attaching to every thought as if it were the truth. Not every thought deserves your energy. Not every fear is real. Not every mental scenario needs to be explored. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to see thoughts as suggestions, not commands. You get to choose which ones you follow. This kind of mental discipline has a powerful effect. It lowers stress, improves sleep, sharpens memory, and enhances emotional resilience. More than that, it restores your connection with yourself. You stop being a stranger to your own thoughts. You stop living on autopilot. You begin to feel more alive, not because life got easier, but because you became more present within it. The path to inner quiet also requires you to disconnect from unnecessary input. When your mind is already noisy, constant consumption only makes it worse. Scrolling, watching, comparing, it floods your brain with more than it can process. You start to lose your ability to think clearly. That's why silence is not just therapeutic. It's necessary. Create pockets of silence throughout your day. No music, no conversations, just space for your mind to breathe. Use that silence to reflect. Ask yourself what you're feeling and why. Don't rush to find answers, just observe. Clarity will come, not from force but from space. Give yourself permission to slow down mentally, even when the world around you is speeding up. You're not falling behind. You're regaining your center, and when you operate from that place you move faster in the ways that matter. Over time, mindfulness becomes more than a practice. It becomes a way of being. You no longer seek peace, you bring it with you. You no longer need escape, you create stillness inside. That stillness gives you power. You can walk into pressure without being shaken. You can hear criticism without losing your balance. You can experience fear without letting it control you. That's the strength of a quiet mind. Don't expect immediate results. Mindfulness isn't a quick fix. It's a lifestyle adjustment. It's the decision to stop feeding the mental noise and start building inner quiet. That process is uncomfortable at first because it forces you to face what's really going on inside. But what you face, you free. And once you learn how to sit with your mind without needing to escape it, you unlock a level of self-control that changes everything. One helpful practice is mindful breathing. Set a timer for 5 minutes and focus only on your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale gently through your mouth. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. When your mind wanders, and it will bring it back to your breath without judgment. This simple act, repeated daily, sharpens your focus like nothing else. It's not about getting it right. It's about showing up. Another powerful tool is body awareness. Take a few moments each day to scan your body from head to toe. Notice where you're holding tension. Relax each part as you bring your awareness to it. This reconnects your mind with your physical state, reminding you that you are more than just thoughts. Your body is always in the present. Tune into it, and you ground yourself in the now. Don't overcomplicate the process. Mindfulness doesn't require candles, cushions, or guided apps. Those can help, but they're not necessary. What matters most is consistency. A few minutes each day of deliberate presence will do more for your mind than hours of unstructured effort. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less with more attention. Mindfulness also teaches patience. You begin to realize that you don't have to react immediately. Not every comment needs a reply. Not every problem needs to be solved today. You learn to create space between stimulus and response. That space is where wisdom grows. It's where you choose how to act instead of defaulting to habit. That's how you begin to respond to life with strength instead of fear. Emotional balance is another benefit. When you're mindful, you don't suppress emotions. You notice them without being consumed by them. You feel anger, but it doesn't drive your actions. You feel sadness, but it doesn't define your identity. You feel joy, but you don't cling to it desperately. You let emotions move through you instead of letting them take control. That level of self-awareness changes how you experience life. You'll also notice improved focus. Mental clarity isn't about trying harder. It's about thinking less and noticing more. When you train your mind to stay with one task, your productivity rises. You stop multitasking, and you start working with intention. You stop being busy, and you start being effective. That's what mindfulness creates, not laziness but laser focus. In relationships, mindfulness helps you listen more deeply. You stop preparing your response while the other person is still talking. You stop assuming. You start being fully present with the people around you. That presence creates connection. It builds trust. It helps you respond with empathy instead of ego. And it begins by first learning how to be present with yourself. There's a kind of quiet strength that grows from daily mindfulness. It's not loud or dramatic. It doesn't need to be seen, but it's powerful. It's the strength to stay calm under pressure. The strength to focus when you're tired. The strength to walk away from distractions. The strength to live intentionally instead of reactively. That's the kind of strength you build when you learn how to silence your mental noise. This isn't about perfection. Some days your mind will be restless. Some moments will feel scattered. That's okay. What matters is that you keep returning. Each return is a win. Each breath is progress. Each moment of presence strengthens your foundation. You don't need to master it in a week. You just need to commit. Not for results, but for the process of learning how to stay grounded in yourself. No one else can do this for you. This is your work.
Your mind your responsibility, but it's also your freedom. Because once you learn to manage your inner world, the outer world no longer controls you. You don't chase peace. It lives in you. You don't search for focus. You return to it. You don't react. You respond. And that kind of life isn't built overnight. It's built one mindful moment at a time. Keep showing up. Keep paying attention. Keep choosing stillness. That's how you quiet the noise and take your mind back.
Chapter 4. Focus your attention only on tasks that drive progress. In the modern world, it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life. Everywhere you turn, there's a new distraction, a new notification, or a new demand on your attention. People will ask for your time, your focus, and your energy. Yet, with so much pulling you in different directions, it's incredibly difficult to know where to invest yourself in ways that truly matter. It's not enough to be busy. You need to be productive. You need to focus on the tasks that actually drive progress and let go of everything else that distracts you from your path. The power of focus is often underestimated. It's easy to mistake activity for progress, but the truth is, most of what fills your day has little to no impact on your long-term goals. Whether it's responding to emails, engaging in idle chatter, or mindlessly scrolling through social media, these are all distractions that drain your time and mental energy without moving you any closer to your desired outcomes. The real question is not how much you're doing, but how much of it is moving you in the right direction. In order to focus on tasks that drive progress, you first need to be clear on what truly matters. This is where many people get lost, caught up in vague goals and uncertain directions. The first step is to get crystal clear about what you want to achieve. What is your long-term vision? What are the few things that will make the most significant impact in your life and work? Once you know the answers to these questions, you can begin to filter out distractions and zero in on the tasks that will actually drive your success. But clarity alone is not enough. Knowing what to focus on is one thing, but staying focused in the face of distractions is an entirely different challenge. Distractions are everywhere. Your phone is constantly pinging, your inbox is always full, and the pressure of society to keep up with the latest trends can be overwhelming. You might even feel guilty for not being more engaged in every new opportunity that comes your way. But the truth is, every time you divert your attention away from what matters, you're losing valuable time that could be spent on tasks that actually move you forward. The ability to focus on the right tasks is a skill that must be cultivated. Like any other skill, it requires practice and intentionality. It requires creating systems in your life that support your most important work and eliminate distractions. The first step is to set clear priorities. This means learning to say no to the things that don't align with your goals. It also means understanding that not everything is worth your attention. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you strategic. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your long-term goals, you're saying no to the things that do. Once you've identified your priorities, it's important to structure your day around them. Time blocking is one of the most effective ways to ensure that you're dedicating enough time to the tasks that matter most. Set aside uninterrupted blocks of time each day where you work solely on your most important projects. During these blocks, avoid all distractions, no phone, no email, no meetings, just pure focus on the task at hand. These focused periods of work are where progress happens. Without them, you'll continue to drift from one task to another, never fully giving yourself the chance to make real headway. In addition to time blocking, you should also learn to optimize your environment for focus. This means creating a workspace that minimizes distractions and maximizes your ability to concentrate. Whether it's a quiet office, a designated work area, or simply turning off your phone, find a space where you can dive deep into your tasks without constant interruptions. The fewer distractions you have, the more likely you are to stay engaged with the task at hand and make significant progress. It's also helpful to break down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. When you look at a big project, it can feel overwhelming, and your brain might naturally try to avoid it. However, when you break that project into smaller tasks, it becomes more approachable. Focus on completing one small task at a time. As you check off each item, you build momentum, and the larger goal begins to feel less daunting. This approach keeps you from getting stuck in analysis paralysis and encourages consistent action. Another key to focusing on tasks that drive progress is learning how to eliminate multitasking. Multitasking is a myth. It's actually a way of scattering your attention across multiple things at once, making it impossible to give any single task the focus it deserves. Studies have shown that multitasking can actually reduce productivity and increase errors. Instead of juggling several tasks at once, focus on one task at a time and give it your full attention. This deep focus allows you to work more efficiently and produce higher quality results. A common struggle many people face is the desire to be perfect. Perfectionism often prevents people from taking action because they're constantly waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. They get stuck in the planning phase, never fully committing to the work that needs to be done. The truth is, perfection is a myth, and the pursuit of it can waste time and energy. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on making consistent progress. If you wait for everything to be flawless, you'll never get started. Embrace imperfection as part of the process and allow yourself to learn as you go. It's better to take imperfect action than to remain stuck in the planning stage. When you focus your attention on tasks that drive progress, you naturally begin to see the fruits of your labor. You'll start to accomplish more in less time, and your sense of fulfillment will grow as you see real, tangible results from your efforts. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more progress you make, the more motivated you become. The more motivated you are, the more focused you'll be on doing the work that matters. This cycle of progress and focus reinforces itself and propels you toward your long-term goals. It's important to note that there will always be days when your focus falters. Life is full of distractions, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. On those days, don't beat yourself up. Instead, practice self-compassion. Recognize that no one is perfect, and everyone experiences moments of weakness. The key is to get back on track as quickly as possible. Don't allow a single moment of lost focus to derail your entire day. Use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. What caused the distraction? How can you adjust your environment or mindset to prevent it from happening again? In the long run, the ability to focus on the tasks that drive progress is what separates successful people from those who struggle to achieve their goals. Successful individuals know that their time is limited, and they guard it fiercely. They invest their energy only in things that matter. They say no to distractions and yes to progress. They understand that every choice they make is either moving them closer to their goals or taking them further away. Focus isn't just about getting more done. It's about getting the right things done. It's about putting your energy into the activities that have the greatest potential for impact. When you focus on these tasks, you create momentum, and momentum leads to success. Without focus, you remain stuck in the cycle of busyness, but with it, you begin to create the life you've always dreamed of. Ultimately, the key to focusing on what matters most is aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. If you can stay grounded in that vision and make deliberate choices that support it,
you will naturally find yourself spending more time on tasks that drive progress. Remember, your time is your most valuable resource. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. So be intentional about how you spend it. Focus on the tasks that truly move you forward, and you'll start seeing the results you desire.
Chapter 5. Eliminate digital distractions to reclaim time for meaningful work. The digital age has provided us with remarkable opportunities. We have instant access to vast information, endless entertainment, and a platform for communication with people all around the world. It's an age of unprecedented connectivity. But with this connectivity comes a price. Every notification, every ping, every pop-up can be a siren call, pulling us away from our work, our focus, and our purpose. These digital distractions can rob us of the most valuable resource we have, our time. The problem isn't the technology itself. It's not the devices or the platforms we use. It's how we engage with them. They can easily become traps, opportunities to waste time, divert attention, and delay progress. If you're constantly checking your phone, responding to emails, or scrolling through social media, you are not working toward your goals. You are losing precious moments that could be spent on meaningful, productive work. Digital distractions, if not controlled, can take over your life. It's not that you need to abandon technology altogether, but you must learn to control it rather than letting it control you. You have to reclaim your time from these distractions in order to focus on the things that matter most. This requires a conscious effort, a shift in mindset, and a willingness to change the way you approach technology. The first step in eliminating digital distractions is awareness. Most of us don't realize how much time we waste mindlessly scrolling or responding to every notification. The constant dopamine hits from checking emails, social media updates, or news headlines condition us to crave more. It's an addictive cycle that can consume hours of your day without you even noticing. Start by tracking your screen time. Many devices now offer built-in tools that allow you to see how much time you're spending on certain apps or websites. This simple step can be a wake-up call. When you see how much of your time is spent on non-productive activities, it may shock you into taking action. Once you're aware of how much time you're losing, the next step is to set boundaries. In order to focus on meaningful work, you need to create limits for how and when you engage with digital distractions. You don't need to check your email every time you hear a notification. You don't need to scroll through social media during breaks or after work hours. Set designated times throughout the day to engage with these digital tools. For instance, check email only in the morning and again in the afternoon, and avoid checking it outside of those times. Turn off non-essential notifications so you're not constantly interrupted by new messages or updates. You can even set specific times for social media, perhaps a 10-minute window after lunch or in the evening, but never at the cost of your focused work time. Disabling notifications is one of the most effective ways to regain control over your digital life. These small interruptions not only pull you away from your work, but also erode your ability to focus. When you're constantly shifting your attention from one task to another, it takes time to get back into the flow. Studies show that it can take up to 25 minutes to regain focus after being interrupted. By simply turning off non-urgent notifications, you can protect your focus and work for longer periods without distraction. Another powerful way to eliminate digital distractions is to limit your access to devices during certain periods of the day. Set up a digital detox period where you completely disconnect from your phone, computer, and any other digital devices. This could be during your morning routine, while you're working on deep tasks, or during meals. During this time, you focus entirely on what you're doing, whether it's reading, exercising, cooking, or spending time with family. This helps you reclaim your time and focus on what truly matters. Physical space can also play a significant role in minimizing distractions. Create an environment that supports your productivity. For instance, when working on tasks that require deep focus, consider putting your phone in another room or placing it face down on a desk so that you're not tempted to look at it. If you work from home, designate a specific workspace that's free from distractions. Try to keep your workspace organized and minimalistic, removing anything that could pull your attention away from the task at hand. Taking breaks is also important, but these breaks should be intentional. Instead of reaching for your phone every time you take a break, step away from your workspace and do something that refreshes you in a more meaningful way. Go for a walk, stretch, meditate, or have a conversation with someone. This type of break will rejuvenate you and provide a much-needed mental reset. It's important to remember that breaks are not meant to be filled with digital distractions. They should serve as a moment to recharge, not a moment to get lost in endless scrolling. One of the most effective strategies to eliminate digital distractions is to use technology to your advantage. There are many apps and tools designed specifically to help you stay focused. Apps like Focus at Will play music specifically designed to improve concentration, while others like Forest encourage you to stay off your phone by rewarding you for staying focused. Freedom and Cold Turkey are apps that block distracting websites, allowing you to create work sessions where you can't access social media or other non-essential sites. These tools are great because they take the decision-making out of the process, allowing you to focus without the temptation to check your phone or browse the internet. Another approach is to practice the Pomodoro technique. This method involves working in short, focused intervals, usually 25 minutes, followed by a short break. During the work intervals, you eliminate all distractions and give yourself permission to work intensely on a single task. After the interval, you take a brief break to refresh and reset before jumping back into your work. This technique helps you stay productive while minimizing burnout and gives your brain a chance to recharge throughout the day. You also need to be mindful of how much information you consume. We live in an era of information overload. Every day we're bombarded with articles, videos, podcasts, and endless opinions. While consuming information can be valuable, it can also be a major source of distraction. It's easy to get caught up in reading article after article, jumping from one piece of information to the next, without ever applying what you've learned. This is why it's essential to be intentional about what you consume. Choose your sources carefully and focus on information that directly contributes to your personal growth or professional goals. Avoid the urge to consume content out of habit or curiosity. Be deliberate about what you read, watch, or listen to, and make sure it aligns with your priorities. The key to eliminating digital distractions is to adopt a mindset of discipline and intention. It's about making conscious decisions about how you engage with technology and setting boundaries to protect your focus. It's about being proactive and thoughtful rather than reactive and passive. By controlling your digital environment, you can reclaim hours of lost time and redirect that time toward tasks that will move you closer to your goals. Remember, the goal is not to demonize technology or to cut it out of your life entirely. Instead, the aim is to use it as a tool to enhance your productivity and focus, not as a source of endless distraction. By eliminating digital distractions, you create more space for meaningful work, for progress, and for living a life aligned with your values and goals.
Start by becoming aware of how much time you spend on digital distractions, then create intentional boundaries to protect your time. Use tools to help you stay focused and avoid distractions. Reclaim your time by limiting access to devices and apps, and create an environment that supports your goals. Most importantly, adopt a mindset that values your time as a precious resource. When you do this, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in a day, and how much more you can achieve when you focus on what truly matters.
Chapter 6. Create clear goals and track progress with daily reviews. Setting goals is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life and ensure that you are moving forward with purpose. Without clear goals, it's easy to get lost in the noise of daily life. You might find yourself reacting to things instead of taking deliberate, focused action toward the life you want to create. But when you set specific, actionable goals, you bring intention into your life. Goals give you direction, focus, and a sense of purpose. They allow you to measure progress and stay motivated. The first key to achieving your goals is clarity. Clear goals are not vague desires. They are specific, actionable, and measurable targets that you can work toward. A goal like, "I want to be healthier," is a good intention, but it's not specific enough to drive progress. A better goal might be, "I will exercise for 30 minutes every morning and eat a balanced meal at least 5 times a week." This goal is actionable, specific, and measurable. The more specific your goal is, the easier it will be to create a plan and track your progress. Once you've defined your goals with clarity, it's important to break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Large goals can feel overwhelming, which can cause you to procrastinate or give up altogether. By breaking a goal down into smaller steps, you make it easier to take action. Each small task is a building block that moves you closer to your larger goal. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, the task of writing a book might feel daunting. But if you break it down into smaller steps, such as writing 500 words a day or completing 1 chapter each week, the task becomes much more manageable. You can track your progress daily and stay motivated as you achieve these smaller milestones. One of the most effective ways to stay on track with your goals is by reviewing your progress regularly. Daily reviews are a simple yet powerful way to ensure that you are consistently moving toward your objectives. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on what you've accomplished and what still needs attention. This process helps you stay accountable and identify any obstacles or challenges that might be preventing you from reaching your goals. During your daily review, start by acknowledging what you've achieved. No matter how small the progress, it's important to celebrate the wins. This recognition boosts motivation and helps you maintain momentum. Then take a moment to evaluate what you could have done differently. Did you get distracted? Were there obstacles that slowed you down? If so, think about how you can adjust your approach to overcome those challenges moving forward. The process of reviewing your goals daily also helps you stay aligned with your priorities. Life can get chaotic, and it's easy to lose sight of what's truly important. When you review your goals every day, you are reinforcing your commitment to them and reminding yourself why they matter. It's a way to refocus your mind and ensure that you're putting your energy into the things that are truly meaningful to you. Tracking your progress is just as important as setting goals. It's not enough to simply state your objectives. You need a way to measure how close you are to achieving them. Tracking progress provides valuable feedback that helps you stay on course. It allows you to see how far you've come, which can be incredibly motivating. It also helps you identify any areas where you may need to adjust your strategy. There are many ways to track progress, and the method you choose depends on your personal preferences and the nature of your goals. If your goal is to improve your fitness, you might track the number of workouts you complete each week, the amount of weight you can lift, or the number of steps you take each day. If your goal is to write a book, you might track the number of words you write each day, or the chapters you complete. Whatever your goal is, find a way to quantify your progress so you can see the results of your hard work. Technology can be a helpful tool when it comes to tracking your progress. There are countless apps designed to help you stay organized and motivated. For example, apps like Trello or Asana can help you track tasks and deadlines, while fitness apps like MyFitnessPal or Strava can help you track your exercise and nutrition. You can also use a journal or a simple spreadsheet to keep track of your progress. The key is consistency. The more consistently you track your progress, the more likely you are to stay focused and achieve your goals. While tracking progress is essential, it's equally important to be flexible with your goals. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go according to plan. You might encounter unexpected obstacles, or your priorities may shift over time. When this happens, it's okay to adjust your goals. Flexibility allows you to stay on track without feeling discouraged. Instead of rigidly sticking to a goal that no longer serves you, take the time to reassess and make adjustments. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means adapting to the changing circumstances of your life in a way that still aligns with your long-term vision. One powerful strategy for maintaining flexibility while still making progress is to set long-term goals alongside short-term goals. Your long-term goals provide the big picture of what you want to achieve, while your short-term goals act as stepping stones along the way. For example, if your long-term goal is to become financially independent, your short-term goals might include creating a budget, saving a certain percentage of your income each month, or learning about investments. As you make progress on your short-term goals, you'll get closer to achieving your long-term vision. And if circumstances change, you can adjust your short-term goals without abandoning your larger objectives. Another important aspect of goal setting and tracking progress is the concept of reflection. Every few weeks or months, take a step back and reflect on your progress. Are you moving in the right direction? Are your goals still aligned with your values and aspirations? Reflection allows you to gain a deeper understanding of your journey and helps you refine your approach. It's a chance to celebrate your progress and reassess your strategy if needed. As you reflect on your progress, be sure to evaluate your mindset. Are you staying positive and motivated, or are you becoming discouraged by setbacks? Sometimes the most significant challenges we face come from within. Our thoughts and attitudes can either propel us forward or hold us back. If you find that you're struggling with negativity or self-doubt, take time to work on your mindset. Surround yourself with positive influences, engage in activities that inspire you, and keep reminding yourself of why your goals matter. In addition to daily reviews and progress tracking, it's also essential to stay accountable. Share your goals with someone you trust, a mentor, a friend, or a colleague. Having someone who checks in on your progress can help you stay on track and give you the encouragement you need to keep going. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility and reinforces your commitment to your goals. It also provides an opportunity to receive feedback, which can help you refine your approach and improve your results. Creating clear goals and tracking progress with daily reviews is a powerful combination that can propel you towards success. When you set specific, actionable goals, break them down into smaller tasks, and review your progress every day,
you create a cycle of momentum that keeps you focused and motivated. Tracking progress provides valuable feedback and helps you make adjustments as needed. And by staying flexible and reflecting regularly, you ensure that your goals continue to align with your values and aspirations. Remember that success is not achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. By creating clear goals and committing to regular progress reviews, you take charge of your future and set yourself up for long-term success. Stay focused, track your progress, and keep moving forward, one step at a time.
Chapter 7. Prioritize deep work sessions to build lasting skill growth. In the pursuit of skill development and mastery, one of the most powerful strategies is to immerse yourself in deep work. Deep work, a concept popularized by Cal Newport, refers to periods of uninterrupted focus where you engage in cognitively demanding tasks that push the boundaries of your abilities. This kind of work is not only critical for learning, but also for the creation of new and meaningful contributions to your field. The world around us is constantly filled with distractions. Our phones buzz with notifications, the internet offers endless entertainment, and the demands of modern life can make it feel impossible to carve out moments of deep, focused work. Yet, it is during these uninterrupted moments that we make the most significant strides toward mastery. Skill growth doesn't happen in the periphery of our attention. It requires immersion. To build lasting skills, you need to embrace deep work sessions that allow you to focus solely on the task at hand, free from distractions. In a society that often praises multitasking and speed, the power of deep work may seem counterintuitive. After all, the more you do, the more you accomplish. Right. The reality, however, is that multitasking reduces efficiency and increases cognitive load, leaving you less effective in each individual task. In contrast, when you engage in deep work, you bring your full attention to the challenge, unlocking your cognitive capacity and allowing you to perform at your highest level. This is where the true potential for growth lies. One of the first steps in prioritizing deep work is to set aside dedicated time for it. The best way to ensure that you're committing to deep work is to schedule it. This means blocking off uninterrupted time in your calendar, just as you would for an important meeting or a deadline. If you treat deep work with the same level of importance as other obligations, you are more likely to follow through. The beauty of deep work is that, unlike superficial tasks that demand constant attention and produce little meaningful output, deep work leads to significant progress. Whether you're developing a skill, solving a complex problem, or creating something new, the results of deep work compound over time. Every session of focused work builds upon the previous one, gradually enhancing your proficiency and understanding of the task. The key is consistency. Deep work sessions don't need to be long, but they need to be frequent. Even an hour of deep, uninterrupted focus can create more value than several hours of distracted work. As you build your deep work habit, you'll start to notice significant improvements in your skill set. But it's important to remember that deep work is not simply about putting in the hours, it's about intentional, focused effort. This kind of work requires mental energy, discipline, and patience. You won't always see immediate results, but the growth will come over time. The skill you develop during deep work sessions is not just knowledge or technique, it's mastery. You are refining your ability to think critically, solve problems, and produce at a high level. To maximize the benefits of deep work, it's essential to minimize distractions during your sessions. The modern world is filled with interruptions that constantly pull our attention away. Social media, emails, and phone calls are some of the most common offenders. In a world where instant communication is the norm, it's hard to shut everything off and immerse yourself in a task without being tempted to check your phone or respond to messages. The key is to intentionally eliminate these distractions before starting a deep work session. One effective strategy is to turn off notifications and silence your phone before you begin. If you're working on a computer, consider using apps or tools that block distracting websites. For example, tools like Freedom or Cold Turkey allow you to temporarily block access to social media or entertainment sites so that you can focus fully on your task. You might also find it helpful to set a timer for your deep work sessions so you have a set amount of time to focus without worrying about time passing. In addition to minimizing external distractions, it's important to recognize and manage internal distractions, those thoughts and impulses that arise within your own mind. During deep work, your brain will naturally try to divert your attention to other things. You might suddenly think of something you need to do later in the day, or start worrying about a problem you've been grappling with. These thoughts are normal, but it's important to train yourself to ignore them. One method is to write down any distracting thoughts that arise during your session and revisit them later, so you can focus fully on your work without fear of forgetting something important. Over time, you'll find that your ability to stay focused during deep work sessions improves. At first it might feel challenging to concentrate for extended periods, but as you build this habit, you'll become more adept at tuning out distractions and sustaining your focus. Eventually, deep work will become second nature, and you'll be able to enter a state of flow where time seems to disappear, and you're fully absorbed in your task. The true power of deep work lies not just in the hours you put in, but in the intensity of your focus. In a world that constantly demands our attention, deep work allows us to step back and engage in meaningful, high-level thinking. It's about quality over quantity, giving your full attention to the task at hand and resisting the urge to check your phone, respond to emails, or think about anything else. When you commit to deep work, you commit to excellence. While deep work is essential for building skills, it's also critical for creativity. Some of the most innovative ideas come not from scattered, distracted thinking, but from focused, deliberate effort. Whether you're writing, programming, designing, or any other skill that requires creativity, deep work provides the mental space to think outside the box and make connections that might not have been apparent in a more distracted state. Another key aspect of prioritizing deep work is learning to embrace challenges. Deep work often involves tasks that are difficult or uncomfortable. You might be learning something new, tackling a complex problem, or facing a creative block. These challenges can feel intimidating, but they are also opportunities for growth. The discomfort you feel during deep work is a sign that you're pushing yourself and expanding your abilities. The more you embrace these challenges, the faster you'll develop your skills. As you progress in your journey of deep work, you'll notice a transformation in your approach to learning and skill development. Instead of approaching tasks with the mindset of getting it done, you'll start to view them as opportunities to engage deeply and develop your expertise. Every moment of deep focus becomes a stepping stone toward mastery, and with each session, you get closer to the person you want to become. The benefits of deep work extend beyond skill development. This kind of focused effort also builds resilience. It teaches you how to push through discomfort, deal with frustration, and maintain your focus even when things get tough. These lessons translate into all areas of life, from personal growth to professional achievement. The ability to engage in deep work is not only a skill, it's a mindset that fosters discipline, perseverance, and excellence. Over time, as you continue to prioritize deep work,
you'll start to see how it creates a ripple effect in your life. You'll become more productive, more creative, and more effective in everything you do. Deep work doesn't just improve your skills, it transforms the way you approach challenges and goals. It allows you to tap into your highest potential and unlock the power of sustained focus. In conclusion, if you want to build lasting skill growth, deep work is the key. By carving out time for uninterrupted, focused effort, you create the conditions for mastery. As you embrace the discipline of deep work, you'll find that the skill growth you achieve is not just a result of hard work, it's a reflection of your commitment to excellence. When you prioritize deep work, you unlock your full potential and set yourself on a path toward mastery and success. Keep refining your focus, stay committed to the process, and let deep work become the cornerstone of your growth and achievement.
Chapter 8. Delegate low-value tasks to free space for growth. In a world that constantly demands more of our time and energy, one of the most critical skills for success is learning how to delegate low-value tasks. It's easy to get caught up in the small, mundane activities of daily life that provide little return on investment. These tasks can drain your energy, take up your time, and ultimately prevent you from focusing on what truly matters. To grow both personally and professionally, it's essential to free yourself from the burden of these low-value tasks, so you can direct your focus to higher-value activities that contribute to your long-term goals. The ability to delegate is not just a convenience, it is a necessity. We all have a finite amount of time and energy. Every minute you spend on tasks that don't significantly move the needle toward your goals is a minute you're not investing in your personal development or your work. It's about realizing that time is the most precious resource you have and learning how to use it wisely. Delegation doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means understanding that your time is better spent on high-value tasks that require your unique skills, insights, and focus. Low-value tasks are those that do not require your specialized expertise and can be handled by others. These could range from administrative tasks, data entry, routine emails, organizing meetings, or even tasks that simply don't play to your strengths. When you spend time on these tasks, you divert your attention from activities that will help you progress toward your goals. The first step in the delegation process is identifying these low-value tasks. Take a hard look at your daily routine and evaluate where your time is going. Ask yourself, what activities are essential to my success? What activities do I spend the most time on that don't truly matter? What could be done more efficiently by someone else? Many times, the low-value tasks we do are habitual, and we perform them without thinking about their actual impact. It takes self-awareness and a willingness to question your daily activities to recognize what needs to be delegated. Once you've identified the tasks that are low value, it's time to decide who will handle them. Delegating effectively is about finding the right person or system to take over the responsibility. It's not always about hiring someone. Sometimes it might involve utilizing tools or technology to automate tasks. For example, if you're spending hours answering emails, consider using an email management system or even hiring a virtual assistant to handle routine inquiries. If you're constantly organizing meetings, use scheduling software to streamline the process. These small shifts free up your time and mental bandwidth, allowing you to focus on higher-level responsibilities. However, delegation is not just about transferring tasks to someone else. It's about empowering others to take ownership of the tasks they're assigned. To delegate effectively, you need to provide clear instructions, set expectations, and trust the person you're delegating to. It's important to communicate the desired outcome, but also allow room for autonomy. Micromanaging the tasks you delegate defeats the purpose of freeing yourself from them in the first place. Trust in the abilities of those you delegate to, and give them the space to do the job without constant oversight. This builds their confidence and skills, while also relieving you from the burden of unnecessary tasks. The act of delegation is also a process of growth, for both you and those you delegate to. For you, it's a way to reclaim your time and energy, but for others, it's an opportunity to develop new skills, take on more responsibility, and contribute to the overall success of the team or organization. As you delegate more, you'll find that you can focus on higher-level decisions, creative work and strategy, while others take care of the day-to-day tasks. This allows you to grow as a leader, entrepreneur, or professional, because you're learning how to leverage the strengths of others and create a more efficient, productive system. As you delegate low-value tasks, you'll find that you create more mental space for growth. Freeing up your time means that you can dedicate more energy to activities that drive progress, whether that's learning new skills, tackling complex challenges, or focusing on creative endeavors. When you're bogged down by repetitive, time-consuming tasks, it's difficult to find the mental clarity needed to push forward. By delegating, you eliminate these obstacles, making it easier to tap into your full potential and achieve your long-term objectives. In addition to delegating tasks to others, there is also value in learning how to eliminate certain tasks altogether. Not everything that appears on your to-do list needs to be done. Ask yourself, is this task even necessary? Can it be removed from the list entirely? Sometimes, we take on responsibilities out of habit, obligation, or a desire to please others, but these tasks may not align with our core priorities. Learning to say no, both to others and to ourselves, is an essential skill in delegating effectively. When you say no to low-value tasks, you're actively choosing to create space for things that matter. The key to successful delegation lies in your ability to evaluate your priorities and take intentional action. It's not enough to simply identify the tasks that can be delegated. You must be proactive in taking steps to offload them. This requires a mindset shift from doing everything yourself to embracing the power of collaboration. Delegation is an essential leadership skill that allows you to focus on the big picture while others handle the details. One of the biggest obstacles to delegation is the fear that others won't do the job as well as you would. It's common to feel attached to the idea of control, especially when the task at hand is important. But this fear often holds us back from fully embracing delegation. The truth is, delegating doesn't mean relinquishing control. It means shifting your focus to the things that truly require your attention. By entrusting others with tasks, you empower them to rise to the occasion and develop their own expertise. And by letting go of the small things, you open yourself up to opportunities for personal growth and achievement that would otherwise be out of reach. Another important aspect of delegation is the feedback loop. Just because you've delegated a task doesn't mean you can forget about it entirely. It's important to follow up, provide constructive feedback, and ensure that the work being done aligns with your expectations. However, this doesn't mean micromanaging or constantly checking in. The goal is to provide guidance and support when necessary, but also to trust the process and the people involved. This balance between giving autonomy and offering support is key to effective delegation. Delegating low-value tasks allows you to shift your energy toward work that is not only more meaningful, but also more impactful. The more you invest in high-value activities, the greater the progress you'll see in your personal and professional life.
Delegation is not just about saving time, it's about making space for growth. It's about focusing on what truly moves you forward and letting go of the things that hold you back. As you continue to delegate low-value tasks, you'll begin to realize that your time is your most valuable asset. It's essential to protect that time and use it wisely. The more you learn to delegate effectively, the more you'll be able to focus on high-impact work that drives your success. Whether you're a leader, entrepreneur, or someone committed to personal growth, mastering the art of delegation is an essential skill that will help you achieve your goals faster and more efficiently. The process of delegating low-value tasks is transformative. It frees up time, energy, and mental space, allowing you to direct your focus toward the work that truly matters. By learning to delegate effectively, you set yourself up for sustained growth, not only in terms of the tasks you can accomplish, but also in the development of your leadership and decision-making skills. The more you delegate, the more you'll create a system where everyone is working in their zone of genius, and the results will speak for themselves. In the end, delegating low-value tasks is not just about optimizing productivity. It's about creating the space to grow, to think bigger, and to achieve more. It's a mindset shift that acknowledges the importance of time and recognizes that in order to elevate yourself, you must elevate others around you. When you embrace delegation, you embrace the possibility of limitless progress.
Chapter 9. Strengthen resilience through small daily habit challenges for success. Resilience is often built not in grand moments of crisis, but in the small, consistent actions we take every single day. It is forged in the everyday challenges that test our commitment, determination, and ability to push through difficulty. If you want to strengthen your resilience, one of the most effective ways to do so is by committing to small daily habit challenges that build both your physical and mental toughness. Over time, these seemingly minor efforts compound, shaping your character and equipping you with the strength to handle life's biggest obstacles. The truth is that resilience is not an inherent trait. It's something you can develop. Just like muscles need exercise to grow stronger, resilience needs regular challenges to thrive. The problem with waiting for big moments of adversity to test your resilience is that you never really know when they'll come. Life is unpredictable. If you don't prepare in advance, you'll find yourself overwhelmed when a difficult situation arises. The key is to create a structure in your daily routine that challenges you just enough to build that resilience over time. Start by committing to small daily challenges that push your limits just a little bit further. These challenges don't have to be extreme, but they should be uncomfortable. Whether it's physical or mental, the challenge should stretch you outside of your comfort zone. If you consistently take on small challenges that demand more from you, you'll begin to build a foundation of mental strength that can carry you through even the toughest of times. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate resilience is through physical challenges. Physical challenges force your body to endure stress, recover, and grow. They push you to confront your limits, develop discipline, and build perseverance. You don't need to run a marathon or climb a mountain to experience the benefits of physical resilience. Even small activities like committing to a morning workout, going for a daily run, or setting a goal to lift a certain weight can have profound impacts on your resilience. These challenges will teach you how to handle discomfort and keep going even when you want to quit. The more you push your physical limits, the more you'll learn to push your mental limits as well. But resilience isn't just about physical endurance, it's about building strength in the mind. Mental resilience can be developed by taking on daily mental challenges that force you to stay focused, calm, and present, even when things get tough. Consider committing to something like a daily meditation or journaling practice. Both of these activities are simple but powerful tools for cultivating mental resilience. They force you to sit with your thoughts, face discomfort, and stay focused on the present moment. Meditation helps you train your mind to stay calm under pressure, while journaling allows you to reflect on your emotions, thoughts, and progress, strengthening your ability to process adversity with clarity. Another powerful daily habit challenge is practicing gratitude. Gratitude helps you reframe your thinking and shift your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. By focusing on the positives in your life, even in the midst of challenges, you build a mindset that is more resilient to hardship. Practicing gratitude daily trains your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, and it helps you maintain perspective when things get tough. This simple habit allows you to stay grounded, appreciate the small wins, and maintain a positive outlook in the face of challenges. The beauty of daily habit challenges is that they compound. Every small effort you make adds up over time. Imagine if you commit to a small challenge every day, whether it's reading for 30 minutes, learning a new skill, or doing a 5-minute meditation session. At first, these tasks may feel insignificant, but when you look back after a year, you'll realize how much progress you've made. It's these incremental efforts that eventually lead to lasting success and greater resilience. The key is consistency. Consistency is what separates those who build resilience from those who give up when faced with difficulty. When you commit to a challenge, it's easy to be motivated at the start, but what happens when you don't feel like continuing? Resilience is built in those moments when you choose to push through discomfort, even when motivation is low. When you feel like quitting, that's when resilience is most needed. Small daily challenges give you the opportunity to practice perseverance, making it easier to stay the course when the bigger challenges arrive. Another way to build resilience through daily challenges is by developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning from failure. People with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges and view them as opportunities to grow. By adopting this mindset, you can transform any challenge into a lesson that strengthens your resilience. When faced with failure or adversity, a person with a growth mindset doesn't give up. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? They understand that setbacks are a natural part of growth, and they embrace them rather than avoiding them. It's also important to challenge your fears. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to resilience. If you allow fear to control your actions, you'll never grow stronger. Overcoming fear requires action. Small daily challenges, such as confronting a fear of public speaking, taking on a difficult conversation, or trying something you've always been afraid to do, can help you break through those mental barriers. Every time you face your fears, no matter how small the action may seem, you build your mental toughness and your ability to handle future challenges with confidence. The most powerful thing about building resilience through small daily challenges is that you gain a sense of agency over your own life. When you take control of your daily habits and push yourself to grow, you stop being a passive observer of life and become an active participant in your own success. Resilience is not just about enduring difficulties, it's about taking charge of your own growth and development. When you choose to take on daily challenges, you're telling yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You are showing up for yourself every single day, even when it's hard. This sense of personal power is what ultimately strengthens your resilience. Daily habit challenges also help you cultivate patience. Resilience isn't just about pushing through hardships quickly, It's about developing the patience to stay the course, even when results are not immediately visible. Building resilience takes time, and it requires the ability to stay consistent in the face of slow progress. Many people quit too early because they expect immediate results, but true resilience is built over the long term. By committing to daily challenges and sticking with them, you learn the value of persistence and the importance of trusting the process. Ultimately, strengthening your resilience through small daily habit challenges is one of the most powerful ways to set yourself up for success. It doesn't matter what your long-term goals are, whether they're related to health, career, relationships, or personal growth. Daily challenges will give you the mental and physical strength you need to overcome the obstacles you'll inevitably face. By developing the habit of embracing small challenges, you create a foundation of resilience that will help you not only handle adversity, but thrive in the face of it. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And the best way to build it is through consistent, intentional daily efforts. Every challenge you take on, no matter how small, adds to the strength of your character. So start today. Choose a small challenge and commit to it every day. Over time, you'll notice a profound shift in your mindset, your habits, and your ability to face whatever comes your way with confidence and strength. As you build your resilience, you'll find that you can not only survive life's challenges, you can rise above them. Chapter 10. Reflect on lessons learned to refine focus and momentum. To truly grow and maintain momentum in any area of life, it's essential to take time to reflect on the lessons learned from the challenges, victories, and setbacks you face along the way. Reflection is not just about looking back, it's about using the past to fuel your present and future actions. Without reflection, it's easy to drift aimlessly, repeating mistakes, or failing to recognize the patterns that can guide us toward our goals. When you make a practice of reflecting on lessons learned, you refine your focus, sharpen your sense of direction, and create the momentum necessary to keep moving forward with purpose. One of the most powerful tools for refining your focus is looking back at your experiences with the intention of learning. Reflection provides clarity. It illuminates the path you've traveled and helps you identify what's worked and what hasn't. When you reflect on your experiences, you gain insight into how to adjust your actions moving forward. Without reflection, you risk continuing down paths that aren't serving you or missing out on opportunities to improve your approach. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, constantly moving from one task to the next, without taking a moment to pause and look at how far you've come. But this rush can prevent you from seeing valuable lessons in your journey. Every mistake, failure, success, and challenge offers insight. If you don't slow down enough to analyze these moments, you might miss the key pieces of wisdom that could accelerate your progress. The beauty of reflection lies in its ability to help you gain clarity on where your attention should be focused. Often, we expend energy on tasks or distractions that are not aligned with our long-term goals. Through reflection, you can identify where your efforts are being wasted and where you should redirect your focus. When you understand what's working and what isn't, it becomes much easier to prioritize the tasks that truly drive progress and move closer to your ultimate goals. Reflection also provides the opportunity to build momentum. Often, when we face setbacks or challenges, it's easy to feel defeated. However, reflecting on past obstacles can reveal the hidden strength we've gained through overcoming them. Looking back on the difficulties you've already navigated can reignite your confidence. You realize that you've been through tough situations before and have the capacity to handle whatever comes next. Reflection reminds you of your resilience and keeps you moving forward with a sense of purpose. There's also power in recognizing small successes along the way. It's easy to overlook the incremental progress you make day by day, but those small wins add up. When you take the time to reflect, you start to notice the moments of growth and achievement that might otherwise slip by unnoticed. Acknowledging these successes builds momentum by reinforcing your belief in yourself and your ability to make progress. It provides a sense of accomplishment that propels you forward. It's important to approach reflection with an open mind and a willingness to be honest with yourself. Reflection is most effective when you can look at both your successes and failures without bias. We tend to shy away from analyzing our mistakes, but it's in these mistakes that the greatest lessons are often hidden. Failure is not the end, it's a part of the process. When you reflect on what went wrong, you gain the knowledge necessary to avoid making the same mistake again. This is where growth happens. It's not about avoiding failure altogether, but learning how to use failure as a stepping stone towards success. One of the keys to effective reflection is setting aside dedicated time for it. In a world that's constantly moving, it's easy to skip over the moments of introspection that can lead to breakthroughs. Set aside time each day or week to reflect on your progress, your lessons, and your setbacks. During this time, ask yourself powerful questions. What did I learn today? What could I have done differently? How can I improve tomorrow? This kind of focused self-inquiry helps you uncover the insights you need to refine your focus and create momentum for the future. You don't have to rely on memory alone when reflecting. Journaling is an incredibly effective tool for capturing your thoughts, feelings, and lessons learned. Writing things down forces you to articulate your reflections, which helps to clarify your thinking. It allows you to track your growth over time, observe patterns in your behavior, and identify areas for improvement. When you look back on your journals, you can see just how far you've come and gain new insights into how to continue moving forward with more efficiency and effectiveness. In addition to journaling, talking through your reflections with a mentor, coach, or trusted friend can help deepen your understanding. Sometimes, just speaking your thoughts out loud allows you to process them more clearly. Others may offer valuable perspectives you hadn't considered, helping you refine your approach. Being open to feedback and engaging in thoughtful discussions around your experiences can bring new clarity and momentum to your journey. Reflection is not just about reviewing your past, it's also about setting your sights on the future. Once you've taken the time to assess where you've been, it's essential to refine your focus for the future. This involves setting new goals, identifying priorities, and making adjustments to your approach based on what you've learned. Without this future-focused element, reflection can become a passive activity rather than an active tool for growth. Use your reflections as a guide for making intentional choices that align with your goals and drive your success. As you reflect, you may uncover patterns in your habits or behaviors that are hindering your progress. For example, perhaps you've noticed that you procrastinate when faced with a challenging task, or that you frequently get distracted by digital devices. These realizations can be powerful because they highlight areas where you need to make changes. By recognizing these patterns, you can create strategies to overcome them and stay on track. Reflection allows you to identify the habits that hold you back, and it provides you with the insight to replace them with more productive ones. Momentum is built by consistent action, but that action is only effective when it's informed by reflection. Reflection helps you understand where you've been, where you're going, and how you can continue to move forward with greater purpose. When you take the time to reflect, you're creating the conditions for continued growth and success.
By refining your focus and learning from your experiences, you put yourself in a better position to navigate the challenges ahead and achieve your goals with confidence. One of the greatest benefits of reflection is that it empowers you to take ownership of your progress. Life isn't always linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and obstacles. But through reflection, you begin to see that these moments don't define you, they refine you. Each experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to your growth. When you reflect on the lessons learned from each step along the way, you empower yourself to continue moving forward, even in the face of adversity. You realize that you have the ability to shape your own path and create the momentum that will propel you toward your ultimate goals. As you continue to reflect and refine your focus, you'll notice an increasing sense of control over your life. You'll be more intentional in your actions, more purposeful in your decisions, and more aware of how each choice contributes to your overall success. Reflection becomes a cycle of growth, one that continually strengthens your resolve and propels you forward toward new achievements. With each lesson learned, you build momentum, and with each new piece of insight, you refine your path toward success. Ultimately, the act of reflection is what allows you to evolve and refine your approach. Without it, progress would be blind and aimless. But when you take the time to reflect on the lessons learned, you give yourself the opportunity to course correct, adjust, and continue with renewed focus and momentum. Reflection turns experience into wisdom, and wisdom is what enables you to achieve lasting success.